Hello everyone, this is Gregor. Welcome to the stream, and we seem to have had a disconnect as soon as we started the stream. Lovely. So yeah, this is like off to a good start. So hi, we're just fresh out of a huge JRPG. So today is when I start doing a few viewer requests. First up, we have hold on. I forgot to ping the person that requested it. We have Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I mean, it's like technically the trilogy on like Steam, but I'm actually just like doing the first one for starters because it's kind of like a long series. Like each one of these takes like anything between like 15 and 25 hours, like depending on how slow you take it. So I'd much rather what's it called? I'd much rather just like do one and see where it goes from there. Because I'm also gonna have to read a lot of these out, so that's also not gonna be very fun. But yeah, so let's get to it. Play this game. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, we can choose. Yeah, I mean, like we're starting the first one. The first Turnabout. So yeah, it's like the tutorial. So as far as I know, like the oh wait, really? Gasp. Uh-oh. Someone got killed. Damn it, why me? This is like also like the first case that you get shown who the killer is like from the start. Now, I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. So yeah, by the way, the writing is not like that great. This is like a Game Boy Advance game that has basically been re-released and remastered on like 5 different systems so far. So yeah, it is like old-ish. Now, full disclosure, I've played all 6 of the games. So there's like the trilogies: Phoenix Wright, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulation, which is like the original trilogy. After that, there's Apollo Justice. There's like 3DS ones, and then there's also like the Miles Edgeworth spin-offs, of which I've played only the first one because the second one hasn't been localized in Dual Destinies. Hey Rooks, hi, how's it going? How are we doing today? You just like open the wiki for that. Oh my god, I'm dropping frames. Why am I dropping frames? This is so dumb. Like right from the get-go. So yeah, let's see. The series is... Don't forget the achievements. Yeah, I mean, I did like get like one just as I launched the first game. And I mean, yeah, you can probably skip through most of it. I remember there was like a fast forward thing that you could activate in most of the games. So I don't think it's like that like tragic if I miss something. So yeah, so let's see. It's Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulation. This is like the trilogy, the collection that's on PC. Then there's Apollo Justice, the first Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney investigations. There's like Dual Destinies. Oh, it's like just 5 of them. Never mind. Oh, you know what I was thinking of? The 6th one was like the crossover with like Layton. So like Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. which I haven't played. I do own, but I haven't played. And apparently they're coming up with like a prequel thing called Great Ace Attorney Adventures or something like that. But yeah, that's the problem. Like, it was kind of like more interesting. Like, it was like a more adventure game take on like the whole thing, rather than, you know, like just like plain visual novel. Oh, am I nervous? Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. I'm not gonna be doing voices. It's gonna be a pain. I will never do these characters justice anyway, so I'm just like going to. Give me just a moment. So weird. Oh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. Favor? So, this has actually been like a topic of extra frames, or like, I think it's now called like New Frame Plus, which is like actually a channel on YouTube that I would highly recommend. How they manage to convey as much emotion as they do with so little animation. Because if you see like in the entire series, it's just like all the characters are just like series of poses, and the only thing that changes is like about here in the first game at least, and then it's like a few, you know, interim poses thrown in as well. But it's like generally just like these animations here that like do all the work. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I want to object so hard. So yeah, how are we doing today? How's it going? No, it's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Huh? What? Who's that idiot? Is that your client screaming over there? I wonder. Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. Ah! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Wow, she's like very perceptive like that. Yeah. Yep, there you go. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me a death sentence. I'm afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? Person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspaper said it was you. Oh. My name is Phoenix Wright. Right? Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. Yep. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sub dating her, Larry Boots. My best friend since grade school. How convenient. It's like the only thing I hate about this series. Well, not hate, but the only thing I kind of like wish they did a bit differently. It kind of seems like throughout like 5 or 6 games, everything revolves around Phoenix Wright and his friends. Like all of the cases they take kind of like link to someone in like their past, or to a friend of theirs, or to their rivals, and like it all ties up way too neatly for my tastes. Like it would be nice to like get like 2 or 3 cases that like no one is related to, like at all. Because I think it's like in like Justice for All, there's like the Silver Samurai case that's seemingly not related to all the rest, but then a character that appears there also appears in the final like trial, which is kind of like the big plot twist one. So it just like feels like everything is related to like Phoenix and his friends, and I don't like that. I mean, it would be nice to have like a few, you know, a few filler cases. 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack of getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. It's just terrible luck. I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took this case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. Wonder why my camera reset there. There we go. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Boots. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Time for a tutorial. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. I guess. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. So it's like an achievement that I want to get here. Yeah, I know. I did see like a guide for like all the missables. It's Mia Fey. The defendant? That's Mia Fey. Right. Look, I have to leave. I have to go home. I'm expecting a delivery. Ah, come on, Chief. Yeah, I know. Listen, right? The defendant is the one on trial. Your client. I mean, that's about as basic as you can get. I couldn't hear your answer. I love that. Defendant? Well, that's Larry Boots, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. It's a murder trial. Oh yeah, this is like where we learn how to check the court record. So yeah, Cindy something or another. Let's see. Yeah, this is the lady that got murdered. What's the victim's name? Yeah, I forgot. Blah, blah, blah. Cinder block. Cinder block. Yeah, so like the other thing that this series is kind of like well known for is that they do a lot of great localization work, especially with like the pun names and all, because all of this is actually puns in the Japanese version. So they kind of made similar puns in the English version. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died. He was hit with a blunt object. Whoa, I'm so good at this. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. You idiot. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck by a blunt object, which explained to the court just what that object was. The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Hey. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. That and this pistol. Use tab to check the court record frequently. So yeah, it's like, this is like the thing. I hate that back is backspace. I'm actually kind of like curious if we can... Oh wait. We can't actually remap them? Oh wow. Okay. That sucks. Nope. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Boots, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Don't fuck it up, right? Don't get it wrong, right? That's like so amusing. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Mr. Boots, is it not true that the victim had desertedly dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together. We're Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't all those die? Oh. See, this is like what I mean about like the puns. They're like so easy to pick up on. I don't even have to like remember playing this before to like know where this is all going. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumb. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Boots, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it. Lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. The victim apparently arrived home from Paris on the 30th of July, the day before the murder. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way! The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Eek. Do we really need to know that? Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Boots, what do you think of her now? Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... Objection. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Well, actually, you know, seeing the overlay, I think, like much better suited over this side, when we're like not missing like the finger wagging. Ugh. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Hey, G-Scorpion, hi! And when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. This guy's an idiot. Like, any half-decent lawyer would, like, walk out and just, like, abandon the idiot to his fate. I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. How's it going? How are we doing today? Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Yep. Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Boots. I don't think this game has any correlation with decent lawyers. I mean, yeah. Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. So I was like, is that Payne's actual voice? Is it actually meant to be this shrill? Wow. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Boots is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. It's also shaking voice in Japanese. No, I assume so. He looks the type, though. I didn't like really expect it to be like this high pitched. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. What a shocker. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, this is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. So I'm probably gonna make a very bad try at pronouncing this guy's name, and that's kind of like the thing. They went with pun names for everyone, so some of these are really hard to pronounce. But please bring Mr. Frank Saw It to the stand. Get it? Because he saw it. Honestly, I think the pun would have worked better if it was S-A-W-I-T-T. Yeah, but it's supposed to spell saw it, right? So I think it might have been better like if it was like something like this. Or like this. It would have been easier to pronounce. Mr. Soyd, you sell newspaper subscription, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Like this guy's body language is just like screaming. I'm the guy that did it. Even if we hadn't seen it in the intro. Mr. Soyd, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. This is actual gameplay. I was like, I forgot, it was like 30 or 40 minutes before you actually get to do the whole like prosecution versus defense kind of thing. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw it lying there. A woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Can't even do it. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment hall working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Mr. Phoenix, I'm doing your job for you. Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Soyd used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Yep, electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. This is important for later. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Right, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then the witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? Tell me. Tell me, Sensei. You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Yeah, I'm gonna stop doing that now. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction. I don't know, I just like found it so amusing. I mean, I know this is all supposed to be like for the player's benefit, especially since like considering it came out on the Game Boy Advance for the first time, so you really do need this kind of visual flair in your text to kind of like help things along, but I don't know. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness testimony. Then, once you found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Wait, Phoenix, metaphorically. I didn't mean literally. Okay. Open the court record and point contradictions in the testimony. So yeah, basically this is how it works. We get to see the witness's testimony segmented, like sentence by sentence. And when we see a sentence that we think has a factual contradiction, we can press the tab key. There we go. We can press the tab key and show them whatchamacallit. So time of death is 4 to 5 p.m. I think that's like the first piece of evidence. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door. Oh yeah, sorry, I need to go back and we can press to get more info. Is any man living in an apartment a common sight? I find it odd you have taken notice of him. I don't know. He just seemed strange to me, that's all. This is his voice now. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. Defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture. Of course. But I really can't go that high pitch for this guy, so I'm gonna do it normally. What the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. So what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Half open, you say? Yes. The door was open halfway, yes. I watched for a moment, but no one came to close the door. That's odd in a big city like this, I thought. I see, and what happened next? Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Who gave you the idea to do that? Well, the door was half open, you see. Isn't it only human to want to peek? We climb mountains because they are there. It's the same thing. Hey, Ghost Rider. I mean, I did ping you, didn't I? Not my fault. How's it going? How are we doing today? You also didn't miss much. It's like literally the first Discord. Discord in the announcement section of Discord. Of my Discord, to be more precise. Which, by the way, anyone can that wants to join can find through here. You wanna know how many announcements you see? Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I don't think I could, like, I didn't think to kind of like let you know on Steam, to be honest, so, sorry. Why did Pain cut him off so quickly? So you looked into the apartment. What happened next? Then I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving, dead. Are you sure she was dead? I mean, what the question is that? Well, no, I guess I wasn't, but she wasn't moving at all and there was blood everywhere. I guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well, what happened next? I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes, I mean, no, nothing. Okay, what happened next? I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. The phone in their apartment wasn't working? Yeah, I mean, no, it wasn't, right. But you said you didn't go into her apartment, or did you? Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next? I went to a nearby park and found a family. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm just like not gonna like press everything. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Ouch. This is trivial. Yeah, I can't do the voice, sorry. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Saw It. Why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. Oh, my camera doesn't see this. I need to get a camera that's like a bit further back so it like picks up more of me. If you would love to see more of this face. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Like, I love how the judge in like all 5 games looks like he couldn't give more of a shit. He's like totally unfazed by everything. He's like, oh, the amount of shit I've seen you wouldn't believe. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. Yeah, I know. It's like in Trials and Tribulations, I think. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. What? I see. You heard the voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right, you know what to do. Nah, I've got this one. No worries. Yeah, we know what to do. It's clearly this. Hold right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Saw It? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. To have a piece of paper? Yeah, I'm kind of like trying to go paperless here, so I don't really have that. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Saw It? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning, please. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Saw It. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. You're on. Accurate testimony is the franchise. Accurate, yeah. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. Just like my name, Saw It, get it? There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Okay, hold on. Yeah, we know. It actually is a clock, but we don't know that yet. Wait, just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? Oh my god, the music. The music is playing. We beat it. No, we didn't beat it. What? You with your objections and your evidence. Who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Soid. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Yes, I mean, always. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testifies that he never entered the apartment. Clearly, a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Hey! Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I mean, we just did. This is like the annoying thing about these things. It's like so heavily kind of like railroaded that even if you know what happened and how it happened, you need to wait until the game allows you to tell everyone that you know what happened. Which, I mean, it's like a small annoyance considering how old the game is, but still, you know, I feel that there could have been like a way to do this without feeling so railroaded. Pursuit? No, it's called oh god, hold on. It's called... What was it? It's like what I used for the intro as well, so I've seen the name. It's called... God. Cornered. Actually, it's called Pursuit/Cornered. Yeah. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. I mean, on YouTube, is like everyone uses it as cornered, so I don't know if like corner the culprit is like the Japanese name for the track, and then they just like translate it to cornered in the English release, maybe. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Wait, in completely unrelated news, you bought Rome Total War Remaster? Wait, this is like a remaster of Rome Total War? Really? Like, why? Oh, there is. Okay. Why a remake of Rome of all games? Isn't like Medieval or like Medieval 2 like the most popular of the older Total War games? Wasn't Rome the one that was kind of like more kind of like small scale? Because I remember playing that, and it was like a nice Total War game, but I always had the feeling that Medieval was like where the series kind of blew up. Huh. I'm like so puzzled. Yeah, I mean, it like most of the Total War games were awesome in their own right, but I just feel like Medieval would have been more popular than Rome. I guess. I don't know. Maybe not. Actually, no, just like give me just a Give me just a moment to like show off something. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, but he's not actually waiting for Phoenix to continue. He's waiting for like the idiot streamer to continue, right? But yeah, I am also a big fan of the Total War games and Rome specifically. So much so that I actually went and bought the collector's edition for the second one. Which, let me tell you, has like a lot of things in it. Let me just like go to... There we go. Oh, come on, Lee. I like to show this off, because this is like my only source of pride and joy in my life, so... There's like a lot of things in this. Like, first of all, look at the box. It's like so beautiful. I'm just like so happy that I managed to get one of these. It actually opens like a case. So there's like trading cards. No, like cards actually. Is the catapult one? Yes, it is. There's also like a cloth map of like Pax Romana, I guess. And, like the entire place, actually. There's like the catapult that I've never actually opened and assembled, because you know this is like collector shit. It must be pristine, even though I opened it. Also, I think like this is also part of the catapult. Yeah, recommended 14 and up. So yeah, so this is not the catapult. What is this? Oh, these are like the chips. Yep, these are like the coin replicas. Yep. Oh boy. I just love like opening these. Like if I had more money, I would buy more of these and make unboxings of them. There's also like a steel box, which is so awesome. The game on launch was what it was. Yes. I mean, I hear it got like fixed afterwards. I never actually played it after all the patches. Maybe I should like try it like one time, because there's like there was also like an expansion of sorts, I think. But yeah, I do love the series overall, and I have to say like Medieval 2 is probably my favorite one of the lot. Haven't played any of like the newest ones, to be honest though. I haven't played Shogun 2 or like the Total War Stories. Or stories, or whatever like the side series was. Here, so it closes like this. But yeah, it's like one of my favorites. And like the only reason that it's not up there is because I want to get like a new shelf on the other side and kind of like have it featured more prominently. This is like a hefty box. Leave it up here. Okay. Back to objecting. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Saga, yeah. Thank you. Not stories. Stories is like the Monster Hunter spin-offs. Monster Hunter spin-offs, yeah. Oh, please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Huh? Mr. Soid. Mr. Soid. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. Okay. So I also have a fun, kind of like cooling me off a little bit off screen. If you can hear it too much, let me know and just like move it out of the way so that it doesn't blow on the microphone so much. Because I do see there's like some feedback, but not a lot. That's why you were so certain about the time. Whoa. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? Would it really be that easy? No. That day, I never. Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw. Ah! Shut up. I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her and he should burn. Give him death. Huh. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright. Your Honor? You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Soid heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. Oh, that certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Whoa. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Soid heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Soid, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. Oh, what's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. It's like for like a witness, he has like a lot of sass and like a lot of talk back to the actual like attorneys. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it! I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness, unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Soid. Uh-oh. I come all the way down here to testify and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! Which you are. Your lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Soid. Oh. Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think, you idiot. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow on the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can still win. Try thinking out of the box. This is still the tutorial, man. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Oh my god. Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes. Well, Mr. Wright, you said the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? I mean, of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Because that's how proof works. It's like weird that no one yells conjecture at this.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. There we go. Ah, passport. The victim has just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Soid? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Oh wow. Oh my god, this man is dead. Mr. Wright, you've killed him. You've blamed him so hard he died. Oh no. First of many murders that Phoenix would go on to perform within a courtroom. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a bullshit defense so quickly. And for dinner, enjoy. And find the true culprit at the same time. Which is gonna be like a very worrying kind of like trend in these games. Like they somehow almost always bug the true criminal as well through like inquisitive questioning. At this point, it's only formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Boots, not guilty. Finish him. I mean, no, different game. Don't finish him. And with that, this court is adjourned. I'm going home to shave my beard. I mean, to comb my beard. And it turns out that Frank Soid was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Soid let himself in to do his dirty work. When he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Soid grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find and killed her. Oh. Whew. I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there, with a little bit of help. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. Mia-senpai is so happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. Oh boy. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick, don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good, I mean... No, good. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Wind is gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Wait, what? Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Boots, innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no, I couldn't. I don't date losers. I mean, I have to go do lawyering stuff. I have to go die for the next case. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey, here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Wow. Maybe you're not such a loser after all. I mean, well, thanks you. Thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she went through quite a lot of you in your own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Oh my god. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I mean, she did keep the clock, right? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? I mean, this is the clock you made for her, Larry. Are you an idiot? Like, everyone in the chat already figured out what this is going. And she took it with her when she's traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. I mean, you think so? It's like a freaking statue, man. Well, make of it what you will, you idiot. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Oh boy, hope that made him feel a little better. Right. I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. I also hope you get a lot better at this very fast, because you're gonna be defending... was like... her, like, cousin or something? Or like younger sister? We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. Yes. In order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. As like the true power of lawyering, the power of love. Listen, learn, grow strong. Heed my words, young Simba. Oh, I can't not make fun of these like dialogues, like so cheesy. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to innocent boots. Yeah! Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. The dumb part. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? Oh, our boss is onto us. It was like into us, not onto us. That's like a different thing. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us. I mean, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be the center of another incident, and my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep, because she's dead. Hey, we finished the first one, only 4 more to go. Sadly, the other 4 are like way longer than this. Yay. I think we can probably comfortably do like the first 2 turnabouts today and see if we can like do the other 3 by Friday. Bring, bring. Beep. Hello, this is Maya. Hey Maya, it's me. Raid ended. Oh, what game is that anyway? I don't know, like, is Scorpion still in chat? I was just like, so what you posted on Discord, but I have no idea what game that is. I don't know, I guess like it says. Oh, okay. It's like that Tarkov thing. Okay. I've never played that. So no clue. So is that like a good thing that I'm looking at? That you get like loot, a lot of XP? I don't get it. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Ah, sorry, I've been so busy. How have you been? Well, lonely, and it's all your fault. Nah, I'm just teasing. I've been great. I'm finally getting used to having my own place. That's good to hear. Actually, I'm calling because I have a favor to ask. I know, I know. You want me to hold evidence for you? Sharp as always. Armor, face mask, and glasses. I mean, yeah, it's like the cool kind of like hip terrorist look in movies, right? Get like a balaclava and then also like sunglasses over it. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here. I gotcha. So, what is it this time? It's a clock. A clock? Yeah, it's made to look like the statue, the thinker. And it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always liked toys. Hey, I'm not a little girl anymore, sis. Oh, her sister, right. Now, you know I'm only teasing. I should probably tell you, the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out, sorry. I put some papers inside it instead. I didn't loot much but finished the quest, 2 quests and progressed the 3rd one. That's like good. I've not like engaged at all with Escape from Tarkov. I see like a lot of people play it. Like there's like this gacha mobile game that I play. My guildmaster streams Tarkov. So maybe like we can raid here someday and like see how it is if you like that kind of thing. But show in line today? No. And yeah, I don't really like go for that kind of game, unfortunately, myself. Papers? Is that the evidence then? Well, there's a possibility that it might turn out that way, yes. Can you come by the office tonight, say 9, to pick it up? I'll be in a pre-trial meeting until then. My case is, but I expect dinner, something good. Like burgers. I could really go for a good burger. Okay, we'll hit the usual joint. Alright, it's a deal. Cases, see you soon. Yep, I'll be waiting, Maya. Conversation recorded, September 5, 9:27 a.m. Uh-oh. September 5, 8:57 p.m. Faye and Cole offices. Now, Miss Faye, I'll take what's mine. The papers. I'm sorry, but I can't give you what I don't have. Miss Faye, you're a poor liar. Why, I see it right over there. That must be the thinker that swallowed those papers. How could you know? Ho ho! You are not cogniferous of my background? Gathering information is my business, you see. I should have been more careful. Ho ho! Idiot. Hey, Cloud, thank you for the host. Where's my alerts? Huh. Okay, that's like a very weird thing for my alerts to die on. Huh. But hey, thank you for the host, Cloud. I'm actually like sitting in chat, but not on the alerts for whatever reason. Alert dead? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like Twitch is like malfunctioning for the last couple of weeks. I'm just like getting dropped frames a bit here and there. Alerts not working. Nightbot keeps popping in and out of chat all the time. I don't know what's going on. Let me just like check up on the alerts just in case that Stream Elements is down instead. But yeah, I'm like very sorry if you're having any what's it called? If you're having any like problems with the stream, it's like well out of my control. Like especially the dropped frames is something super annoying. I've actually checked and it's not my connection. I've got like the stream inspector open on the on like one of the monitors so that I can actually see what's going on. Activity feed. It's not actually showing it on the activity feed either. Is it showing it on the Twitch activity feed? Hmm. No, it's not showing it on this one either. Why is it saying Cloud Valentino is now hosting you? I guess it might have been an auto host, and like it doesn't pick up those at least. So, well, anyway, regardless, thanks a lot. Anyway, regardless of alert or no alert, I am afraid I must ask you for one more thing. Your eternal silence. Farewell, Miss Faye. No. Wow. Also, good job making like this guy be like totally unlikable, like design and all. Because he is like very unlikable. Uh-oh. I'm late. Huh. That's strange. Guess the chief left without me. She said her sister was coming over, so we should all go out for dinner. I have a bad feeling about this. What's that smell? Blood? Mia! Maybe she's in her office. Oh yeah, you can actually... this is what I was worried about. Like the whole like examination thing is gonna be a pain in the ass to do on PC. That smell, blood. So, sis, someone's there. Whoa, Chief, Chief, Snake. I mean, Chief. No. Who are you? Wait, what? She fainted. The strange girl dropped out cold. I left her lying on the office sofa. I went back to the chief where she lay under the window. Her body was still warm. I could feel it when I held her shoulder. Then, all too quickly, it began to fade. Until finally she was cold. I didn't think they were like... Chief. Examine. Oh, okay. That's good. So I guess if you mouse it over things that you can examine, it turns yellow. That's good. There's a large building right across from the office, the Gatewater Hotel. A nice, luxurious place. Oh, it actually keeps like a check mark. Nice. Some shards of glass are scattered on the floor. They seem to be the remains of a glass light stand. Chief, it's hard seeing her like this, but if there's any clues here, she was struck on the head with a blunt object. She probably died instantly. The thinker lying next to her must have been the murder weapon. There are some glass shards near the chief's body. Must be pieces of the glass light stand lying broken in the back of the room. Nothing else. It seems like a clue here. Piece of paper. It must have fallen from Mia's hand. What could it be? It's encrusted with dried blood. How ironic that this became the murder weapon. Again. It's painful to look, but I have to, for Mia's sake. Looks like she was hit in the head with a blunt weapon. She probably died instantly. Looks like anything else. The chief's chair, a simple functional design. Feels pretty good to sit in too. Really? That's your observation? A word is written in blood on this scrap of paper. Maya. Did Mia write this? This piece of paper is a receipt from a department store dated yesterday. I think that's enough snooping around for now. I'd better call the police and find out what the girl was doing here. Dum dum dum. That girl just now. Where'd she go? I put her right there on that sofa. Uh-oh. I hope she didn't run on me. Yipes! Don't scare me like that. Excuse me, but who are you? It's okay, I work here. Maya. Maya Fey. Maya Fey? So Mia was writing this girl's name. Maybe I should show her the receipt. I never thought there'd be a use for evidence like this outside the courtroom. She seems to be in shock. I don't want to disturb her, but I have to know. Excuse me. Can you tell me what happened? I came in. The room was dark. And Sis. She was already dead. So you're the chief's sister. I'm her younger sister. And you were here visiting? This late at night? Yes. She said she wanted me to keep some evidence for her. Evidence? Yes. It was that clock. It was the thinker. Before Mia died, she wrote a message in her own blood. She wrote it on the back of this receipt. That's my name! Why? Why would she write my name? Please, just calm down. Why would Sis write my name? Uh-oh, now I've done it. I'd better hurry up and call the police. Idiot. Wait, she makes him sit at the reception? Oh, wow. So how would we call the police then? All the chief's important documents are packed here. This is where she filed her case records. Yeah. Right, I'd better call the police. That's funny. A few of the screws on the receiver are missing. It looks like someone was halfway through taking it apart. Police! Please, come quickly! What was that? Someone screaming from outside the window? She's staring right at me. She's holding a phone in her hand. The phone receiver is missing a few screws. I'd better not use it. Okay. Hey, Super Hot Mew. Heyo. How we doing? How's it going? Wee. That's like the siren impression. Police. Sounds like they're coming this way. Freeze, police. Welcome to his attorney hell. Okay. Sure. I was like Gumshoe. Yeah. All right, I'm Detective Deep Gumshoe, see? Gumshoe? What an odd name. Your name is literally Wright. Jeez. So he's gonna have like a kind of like a New York, like Brooklyn-ish accent. We received a report from the building across the way, see? Got a person saying they saw a murder. Oh, it must have been that woman I saw. I guess. Anyway, I don't want either of you moving 1 inch, K. Great. Just great. Maya, wait, she wouldn't have... Nah. Whoa! Excuse me! What? Eek? This word Maya here mean anything to you? Really? That's my name? What? The victim drew this here note in her own blood, see? Was he always like this? Like, offensively stereotypical? In Japanese, right? Her name is Naruhodo. Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like what I was saying at the start of the stream. Like, all of these names are like supposed to be puns on, stuff like that. And the Phoenix Wright series is probably one of the best series, like, for how localization can actually make a game even better. Because like a lot of the puns that got translated, they didn't just like go for like literal translations. They tried to kind of like make puns like that make sense in the current language as well. So if you're playing the Japanese version, you get like puns that are kind of like more culturally appropriate for Japan. And if you get like the English version, you get like more like British and American puns. And apparently also like the Italian and French translations are the same. I don't know about the rest. But it's kind of like a decent thing to do. Although I will say that the English localizers apparently for the first few games kind of had like this insistence that like these games take place in America of all places. It was actually like a pretty cool webcomic. Hold on. It's like a pretty cool webcomic that kind of like parodied this. It actually even like made like a, what's it called? Like a meme. So there's like a website called Awkward Zombie, and this is like what I'm talking about. It's like interesting. So they kind of like went like way too into like the whole, you know, this takes place in America thing, even though clearly by the third game or so everything like very clearly takes place in Japan. Have I seen Phoenix Wright with lyrics? Was like the Brental Floss thing? Yeah, I have. But yeah, like the what I just like posted is like the webcomic is kind of like a very well-known example of kind of, you know, localization taken a bit too far. It's also one of my favorite like parody webcomics ever, so I would like totally give it a look.
Yeah, case closed. You're coming down to the precinct, ma'am.
What? Mia's younger sister, Maya, was arrested on the spot. I was taken in for questioning and didn't get out until the next morning. My eyes were heavy, but I couldn't sleep. I sat around waiting for visiting hours to begin at the detention center. I had to talk to Maya as soon as possible. Yeah. Wow, they have poor Maya locked up like a criminal. Ah, it's you, the lawyer. Good morning.
Good morning.
She looks so tired. Are you going to be my attorney? Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I'd better give it to her straight. It's up to you. Up to me? Yes, I don't think this is something I should decide. After all, you're the one in trouble here. Whoops. They're never gonna believe me, are they? Even you, when you found me in the office, you looked at me like I had done it. Did I look at her like that? No, I never thought. It's okay, I understand. And I've also heard about you. Heard? Heard what about me?
Who talked? What did they say? Who squealed?
I was talking to my sister on the phone the other day. Today was my junior partner's first time in court. Wow, really? How'd that go? It was quite the scene. Honestly, I was on edge the whole time. It's been a while. So he crashed and burned? He's a genius.
Right.
Yes, that's what Phoenix Wright is characterized like, a genius. One of those strike fear into the hearts of evil types. The only thing he's lacking is experience. Sound like it was fun. Well, I know who to go to if I ever get into trouble now. I don't know, Maya. I think you might want to wait. Give him 3 more years. That is, unless you want to be found guilty. That's what she said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you. No, it's okay. It's true, I guess. Genie's not bluffing. Just like very like everything like he bullshits kind of like takes. Usually, like most things that he bullshits take, I guess. But at the same time, I can't just sit by and watch when I think of the person who did this to Mia. I know. There's something I've been wanting to ask you. Yes? What's with that outfit? Oh, this? This is what all acolytes wear. It's my uniform, you could say. Acolytes? Like people in religious training? Like people in cults? What is it you do? No, it's nothing strange, really. I'm a spirit medium. In training? A spirit medium? I'm pretty sure that qualifies as strange. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Yeah, we're totally in the US. Yes! Let's see. That morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. Evidence? Yes, the clock shaped like the thinker. Oh, the one Larry made. How could that have been evidence in a case? Right, she said something about that. I remember. Do you want to hear it in her own voice? Her own voice? Yes, I'm pretty sure our conversation is on my cell phone. You recorded it? Yeah, I forgot how to delete those things. So, you say you have a conversation with your sister on your cell phone? Let's hear it. Right. Oh, I just remembered. That detective took my cell phone. Sorry. Oh, right. Next time I see Detective Gumshoe, I'll ask him for it. I'll write you a note so you don't forget, okay? Sure, thanks. So you're an acolyte, a medium in training. That's right. The Fae family, especially the women, have always been very sensitive to the spirit world. Wait a second, you said the Fae family? So Mia was into this stuff too? Of course. She left the mountain to follow her career, she said. Her powers were first class too. I had no idea. She was cheating at being a lawyer. Wait, what? So you're a real honest-to-God spirit medium with ESP and all that? Yes. In training? Well, can you contact me as spirit then? You can just ask her who killed her. I'm sorry. I'm still in training. I couldn't do something on that level. I thought that would be too easy. Yeah, you don't actually have a second trial, dude, if that happens. It actually happens at the end. Something the matter? I was wondering, could I ask you a favor? This is the address of a famous lawyer. Oops. My sister gave me this a long time ago. She said if I was ever in trouble, I should call him. And, well, I'm in trouble. Do you think you could go ask him to represent me? Sure, why not? I'll go ask. Thank you so much. I have no one else to turn to. Say, what about your parents? They're dead. I see. Don't worry, leave it to me. Thank you. The trial's tomorrow at 10. What? Tomorrow? What if this guy refuses? He told me if I don't find one, the state will pick an attorney to defend me. When will that happen? They're giving me until 4 this afternoon. And visiting hours almost up. I'd better hurry. Right, I'll be back. Do-do-do-do. Oh, it's like this, there's like the kind of like fat guy with like the weird mustache. According to the receptionist, the big boss is out. She couldn't say when he'd be back. Must be hard to keep track of everything when you're a famous lawyer. Not to mention run an office like this. I guess I'll just have to come back later. That painting has been bugging me ever since I stepped here. His hemorrhoids? Really? Oh, I don't remember that particular detail. I'm just like doing like fast. I don't really care to read this because there's like not much in the way of, you know, info. I'll be reminded of it later on. Yay! I'm so happy. The office is filled with police officers. They're all busily searching for clues. Hey, you there! This is a crime scene, pal. No trespassing. Sorry, don't I know you from somewhere? Wait, you're that Boots guy, aren't you? No, Phoenix Wright. How could anyone mistake me for Larry? Guess I got the wrong name, Mr. Wright. Sorry about that. That Boots guy, he was a killer. And you're no killer, right? I mean, he was proven innocent. Right. And you were... Gumshoe. Dick Gumshoe? Right, at your service. Hang on, that's Detective Gumshoe to you, pal. Anyway, get the name right. And don't go calling me Dick. Hey, Dick, get over here. Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't want to pronounce it like that, though. be right there. You're her lawyer, right, pal? If you got business here, you'd better do it quick. Whew, he thinks I'm Maya's lawyer. About Miss Faye, did you do an autopsy? You want to know the results, eh? Now, don't you look at me like that, pal. It's no use. She might have been your boss, but that doesn't mean you get any special treatment. Alright, you can see the report, but that's all. About Maya. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the trial. Sorry, pal, but this is one trial you aren't gonna win. Why do you say that? The city's put Prosecutor Edgeworth on the prosecution. Edgeworth. My arch rival. I'm sure you know what that means, you being a lawyer and all. Prosecutor Edgeworth. That's right, pal. Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself. Wait, you do know him, don't you? Yeah. I mean, he had like his own spin-off and all. I know him. He's a feared prosecutor. He doesn't feel pain. He doesn't feel remorse. And up until we make him good, he also cheats. He won't stop until he gets his guilty verdict. Oh, don't talk about him like that. You make him barely sound human. Still, I'm afraid this pretty much decides the case. Oh yeah, it's like Gumshoe's got like a very severe kind of like bro crush on Edgeworth. Of course, there are rumors of back alley deals and forged evidence. All I know for sure is that Edgeworth hates crime with an almost abnormal passion. I never imagined I'd be facing him so soon. Let's like present him this. I was wondering, did you see Maya Faye's cell phone? Oh, that? I have that. Do you think you could give it back? Sure, I mean, wait a second, pal. Tricky lawyer. Uh-oh, he's on to me. If I tell him why I want it, there's no way he's gonna give it to me. Something the matter? Oh, no. No, it's just, you know, detective. Nope, I know nothing, pal. That cell phone has a lot of numbers on it, like your boyfriend's. A cell phone holds all little girl's sweetest and spiciest secrets. Oh, wow. Really? You're trying to confuse me. Sorry, pal. I already checked all the numbers in memory. Impressive, you're quite a detective. Uh-huh. Oh, here, you can have the phone back. There weren't any suspicious call records in there after all. Oh, seems he didn't notice the recorded conversation. I guess I've asked all the questions I need to. You all done, pal? Yes, thank you. I'll be heading out now. Oh, wait. One more thing I wanted to mention to you. I don't suppose you're planning on talking to that witness. Anyway, you'd better not. No influencing the witness with your lawyerly ways, pal. So may I just like say how much I hate like what's her like this lady's name? I don't remember what her name is, and like the other guy. I hate them so much. Like very unlikable characters. With the witness? Yeah, Miss April May. I'm sorry about this, but I can't tell you anything about her. Well, you just told me her name. Miss May, right? So you've sent her home already then. You're trying your lawyerly tricks on me now. She's not going outside her room until the trial. Oh, so she's still in the hotel across the way. I guess I should know better than to try to get a detective to leak information. You got that right, pal. Time to pay a visit to Miss May. Just like check. Well, hello there, handsome. Hi. Smooth, right? Real smooth. You're the lawyer, aren't you? The detective told me. He said, don't say anything to that lawyer, pal. Teehee. Memo to self. Thank Detective Gumshoe for making my job harder. Gee, this all sounds like something out of a movie. It's all so exciting I can hardly contain myself. Oh, let me go freshen up so I can look the part of the beautiful eyewitness. I pity the lawyer that has to cross-examine this one. I already know like what's going on here. There's a screwdriver stuck in this drawer. I wonder what's inside. Let's take a look. Hey, 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 hey! What are you doing? No touching! Ooh, bad boy. You really shouldn't pry around in other people's rooms. You wouldn't want to make me upset, would you? Upset? I thought she was going to explode for a second there. I wonder what could be inside the drawer. The late summer sunlight streams through the windows. There's the faint call offices, of course. You can see the inside of the room pretty clearly from here. I think it would be a little difficult to recognize a face from this distance, though. No, it's like this. A bottle and 2 glasses on the table. Somebody must be staying with her. Do you think you could tell me something? I needed to describe what you observed at the time of the incident. Observe? Incident? You sound just like a lawyer in the movies. I want to punch her in the face. I don't know why. You know that thing that happened the other day? The bad thing? What did you see when it happened? I don't suppose you could tell me about it, pretty please? Let me see. Well, dream on. If you want to know, you just have to come to court tomorrow, Mr. Lawyer. Could you just... Who exactly are you? Ooh, Mr. Lawyer, are you hitting on me? No. Hey, I'm just doing my job here. Teehee. You know, you're cute when you blush. Believe me, this is the first time in my life I've blushed this much. Right, can you just tell me what it is you do? Well, no. And you had your little hopes up, didn't you? I see there are 2 glasses on the table. Is someone staying here with you? Ooh, what an amazing part of observation. You must be one of those famous detectives like on television. No, not me. Just a lawyer. Say, Mr. Big Detective, why don't you go look for clues in the garbage? Miss May doesn't like nosy little lawyers. Ahem. If that wasn't the most over-the-top clearing of the throat I've ever heard. Yep, there we go. It's like the guy. Haha! So you're the one they say has been looking for me? Yes, that's me. He looks even grander than I imagined. That badge on your collar. Ah, so you're a lawyer, are you now? Yes, well, yes. And what do you want? I'm not particularly busy these days. Please proceed. Not busy? Then how come no one could get in touch with you? Something the matter? You came to see the one and only Marvin Grossberg, did you not? Well, here I am, boy. What do you want? Out with it. Well, sir, actually, it's about Maya Fey. Whoops. Yes, Maya Fey. Go on. Huh? Why the strange reaction? Cha-cha. What? I'm really quite busy here, son. Can't go on taking case on a day's notice. No, it's quite impossible. Wait a second. How did you know the trial was tomorrow? Oops. Anyway, I'm afraid it's entirely impossible for me to represent here. Sorry. End of discussion. What's going on? He refused me even before I had a chance to ask him. What do I tell Maya? How can you just refuse like that? Please tell me, why won't you take the case? Well, you see, it's just I'm busy, you see. But the client is Mia Fey's sister. Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands. Oh, sorry. Mia trusted you. She knew her sister would be in good hands. Well, yes, of course. I know that. However, I'm sorry, but I must refuse. Sorry. Goodbye. Creep. Fine. I don't have time to argue with you anyway. I'll go look elsewhere. Think not. Huh? Did you say something? I think not, I said. What do you mean? I'm terribly, terribly sorry. But I'm afraid that no lawyer worth their salt will take on this particular case. Terribly sorry, my boy. Why? I cannot say. I beg your pardon, but could you leave now? I have nothing more to discuss with you. What's going on here? How did you know Mia Fey? She worked here a long time ago. Quite the apprentice, that one. Learned my techniques in the blink of an eye. She left one day quite suddenly. She had a mission, you see. A mission? You could see it in her eyes. She followed it with a burning passion. Never looked back, that one. That's quite a painting. You noticed. It's my pride and joy. Impressive, isn't it? Well, isn't it? The color of the sky, the hue of the sea, the weave of the straw hat. It's worth at least 3 million. I have no intention of parting with it, of course. Yep. Please go away, but please ask me about other topics before you leave. Hey, welcome back to Scorpion. No, I won't sell it. Not even to you. I wasn't interested. It's not for sale. I'm not buying. I'm not buying. Jeez. Okay. Hiya. Oh, you're back. Did you find the lawyer? Well, what do I tell you? Well, see, I really don't think you should use that guy. He didn't seem healthy. He was all skin and bones. Wait, what? What really happened? You don't mean he refused to help? I see. I've been abandoned then. Could you tell me about the day of the murder? Sorry, I know it must be hard. No, it's okay. All I've been doing the last few hours is talking about it. I've kind of gotten used to it. Let's see. That morning I got a call from my sister. She wanted me to hold on to a piece of evidence for an upcoming trial. That's the thinker clock that Larry made. Practically qualifies as a serial murderer by now. So then, when did you arrive at the office? It was right around 9. The lights were off and I could smell blood. Then I found her, my sister. Thanks, Maya. That's all I need to hear for now. What about your family? I only had my sister. My father died when I was very young. And I don't know where my mother is. Don't know? So she could still be alive? The women in my family have been mediums for generations. They say a lot of spiritual power runs in our blood. About 15 years ago, our family was involved in an incident. There was a man and he ruined our mother's life. Oh, ruined? After that, she disappeared. Several years after that, my sister announced she would become a lawyer and she left the mountain. So, you live by yourself? Yes, I've gotten used to it. Oh, also, I had to become independent or I would lose my powers. I feel bad for her, all by herself up on that mountain. So, who was this man who, ruined your mother? Oh, that sounds so wrong. That sounds so wrong. Also, I kind of need, like, more water, so before we proceed, I'm just, like, gonna BRB very, very fast. Haha. And you barely knew I was missing. So I got like more water because this game actually demands it. Also got like it's more like espresso here at like 11 p.m. Yep, fun. About 15 years ago, there was an unusual murder case. It made quite a stir. Everyone was talking about it apparently. The police were running out of leads and they were getting desperate. Wait, they didn't use a spirit medium, did they? The police convinced my mother to try and contact the victim. Wow, so what happened? The case was solved, we thought. You thought? The man my mother helped the police capture was innocent. The police consultation with a medium had all been carried out in secret, of course, but a man found out about it and leaked to the press. He told all the papers that my mother was a fraud and the media jumped on it big time. She, my mother, became the laughingstock of the nation. I see. How does Phoenix not know about this? If she was like the laughingstock of the nation. He was like alive at the time, right? White. Excuse me, White? That was his name. My sister told me. White? Just a little longer now before the state-appointed lawyer comes, I guess. 4 p.m. Time's up. What should I do? Do I just leave here and go home? No. I mean, it's not like we actually have a choice if we want to go on with the game, but, you know. I've made up my mind. I'm going to defend you whether you want me to or not. Whoa! This guy's an idiot. I mean, this guy's intense. Why? Why? Well... Yeah, and the culprit, someone else is. How do you know? I have a hunch. Given the evidence, it would be easy to assume that Maya was the killer. But there's something about this whole thing that smells fishy. That witness's strange behavior, was that all an act? And the way that lawyer refused to help out Maya. But more than all that, she has no one left to help her. Nothing more sad or more lonely than that. I know. I've been there a long, long time ago. Oh. Why did I become a lawyer in the first place? Because someone has to look out for the people who have no one on their side. And because I just damn love yelling objection all the time. Maya, I won't abandon you. You can count on me. That's so kind of you. Well, let's fight this one and get you out of here. Right, thank you. Ooh, she smiled at last. She looks like an entirely different person. Wait, until she gets spoilers. Whoops. I didn't mean to say that. Shh, you heard nothing. One last question. You are innocent, right? Yes. And I trust you. So you trust me too, okay? It's a deal. So what next? There's something that's been bugging me. Just what was inside that strange woman's drawer? It was when I tried to look into the drawer that she got all defensive. There has to be something in there. Good afternoon, sir. Excuse me, you are? I beg your pardon, sir. I am the bellboy of this establishment, at your service. Oh, right. I've just come up to deliver room service, sir. Do you know where Miss May might be? I believe our guest Miss May is currently using the facilities. If you've no need of anything, I'll be taking my leave. Please stay as long as you like. Enjoy. Yeah. Wait. No. Hey. Why does it seem like every time I come up here I end up embarrassing myself? Wait. Now's my chance to snoop around a bit. I almost forgot. Wait. Might I ask you to inform Miss May that there is a message for her? Please tell her that Mr. White of Blue Corp phoned. Oh, right, sure. Mr. White of Blue Corp? I mean, you literally just heard it. Dude, come on. Yeah, that was his name. My sister told me. What do we have here? A wiretap? What would a woman like her be doing with a thing like this? There is definitely something suspicious about this Miss May. Why would she have something like this in her hotel room? There's a story behind all this, I know it. Alright, I'll be using this bit of evidence in tomorrow's trial, that's for sure. For Maya's sake. I'll get to this one's bottom. Okay, sure. Oh, bellboy, still there. Uh-oh, time to scram. I hate to be continued. I never really understood like this whole like to be continued thing. I mean, I guess they were trying to make it look like a crime procedural, but I mean at the time it was like a Game Boy Advance game, so I don't really know why they were exactly hoping to like get like this whole episodic thing going. It just does like kind of like, I don't know. It feels like slightly unnecessary, to be honest. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today or he'd be on me in an instant. Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor. I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. If we may call our first witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Who can like barely fit in the podium. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court. Sir. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder. Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map of the office to explain. The body was found by this window here. And the cause of death? Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the Thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir. Oh, the court accepts the statue as evidence. They're still calling it a statue. Floor plans added to the court record. Yay. Now, detective. Yes, sir. You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why? Yes, sir. I had hard evidence she did it, sir. Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence and then... Oh my. Let's see. As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene, see? There were two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder. The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examine what? I couldn't see a single contradiction in that testimony. Shh. Smack. Hey, Maya just threw something at me. What's this? When my sister couldn't find any contradictions in the witness's testimony, she would bluff it and press the witness on every detail. I mean, we've been doing that already. Come on. The witness always slips up and says something wrong. It worked lots of times. I should have expected Maya would know some of her sister's tricks. Alright, let's give this a try. Something the matter? No, Your Honor. I'd like to begin my cross-examination. Hold on just a second. Yeah? If I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct? Did I say that? Me? I heard you say it. Oh, you did say it. You said it. Exactly. What about this suspicious woman in pink claim? Exactly. What about this suspicious... God damn it. Exactly. What about this suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence? Well, I kind of looked at her and my... What? Miss May's suspicious and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she is pink. That's enough, Detective Gumshoe. Do you have any more solid proof other than her claims, Detective? I guess pressing has advantages. Yes. God damn it. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor. Very well, detective. Let's hear your testimony again. Fucking idiot. After securing the suspect, see, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was written clearly in blood. Lab test results show that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood found on the victim's fingers. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How you like that? That's my hard evidence. He just like drops his trousers as well. No. I'm pretty sure there's like fan fiction of that out there. Before we begin cross-examination, I have a question for you, detective. Your Honor? Why didn't you testify about this vital piece of information the first time? I know. I'm really embarrassed I forgot about it, Your Honor, sir. Try to be more careful. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Nope. Detective Gumshoe, do you get a lot of cases where the victim actually writes the killer's name? Sure, it happens all the time in books and in the movies. This guy's like a fucking idiot. This isn't a movie, detective. Oof. Let's talk about reality, shall we? I guess I haven't heard of many cases, no? Don't you find it a little odd that the victim would write down a name? Especially the name of her own sister? Yeah, actually you got a point, pal. Uh-oh. Stop right there. The witness's opinion on the matter is irrelevant. Plot twist? Yeah, exactly. The facts are clear. The victim wrote down the name of the accused. The victim told us the name of her killer. So I think this is where we need to give the the autopsy results that show that she died instantly. Nope. Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Mia Fey, wrote this note, that she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying? What? This ain't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have? You have it backwards, detective. Backwards? The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. She died immediately. But no butting your way out of this one, detective. Order! Order! The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have had the time to write anything down. Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report? When? Wait, was it the day of the murder or the day after the murder? It was the day of the murder. I'm pretty sure it was on the day of the murder. You're wrong there, pal. We didn't write the autopsy we didn't write an autopsy report till the day after. Oh, right. The prosecution's point being... That's that. You know that this idiot went and falsified that as well, and that's so annoying. A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results in the morning. No way. Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim did have time to write Maya. That is all. I see. Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve. Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Fuck you. Something you want to say? Mr. Edgeworth, I've heard there's nothing you won't do to get your verdict. What reason could you possibly have had to request a second autopsy report? Mr. Wright, the defense will refrain from personal attacks on the prosecution. No, fuck that guy. I'm gonna attack him and his stupid, like, necktie all the time. Mr. Wright, say what you will. The evidence in this report is undeniable. Your Honor, I submit this report to the court. Understood. The court accepts the evidence. Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests the victim was identifying the killer. I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes? Darn, this isn't good. Prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes. Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand. Exactly what part of her is innocent? Is that guy the main antagonist? No. He's the rival that turns into like a secondary protagonist later on. Like he, by the end of I think this game, he ends up kind of like doing like an about face turn, and heel face turn, and eventually in the series he would also get like a spin-off series of his own. I mean, if you've played the series, there's like a reason that he's like such a dick to us now, but for now he's kind of like meant to be like the uber prosecutor that no one can beat kind of thing. Witness, your name please. April May, at your service. Wink. God, I just want to punch her in the face. She's like so unlikable. Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking. Ah, yes, Your Honor. Oh, this is not good. She's already captured the heart of every man in this courtroom. Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred? Gee, I was like in my hotel room. Teehee. I checked in right after lunch. And this hotel is directly across from the Fane Call offices? That's right, big boy. Please testify to the court about what you saw. It was like 9 at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, I saw a woman long-haired being attacked. The one attacking her was that mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, like, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. God. Then the woman with the long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy-witsy. I mean, there's like unlikable characters, and then there's like characters that you wish like were never written. And she's like certainly like the second category. And Red, White, like the well, you'll see eventually in like the course of this game. He's also kind of like that. I mean, I'm all for like making unlikable antagonists, but not to that point. I mean, you know, rein it in a little bit, guys. That's great. I see. It's a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see any to trouble the witness any. Wait, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Wright. What about my cross-examination? I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm. Didn't you? Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Mia Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies. Hey, how dare you? Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine the witness? Fuck yeah. Why did you do that? Huh? Why? Why, like, why what? Why did you look out the window? Were you expecting to see something? Oh, well, gee. What? That's it? She can't get out of this question that easily. I sort of, you know, boing. I had a feeling. Well, I have a feeling she's trying to avoid the question. Maybe I should press her a little harder on this one. Yep. Surely you must have had a reason to look out your window that time of night. Hey, oh. No, don't fuck you. I will not have you badgering my witness. Badgering? You insist on needling her with these trivial questions. I really don't think it should be allowed. Order? Mr. Wright, you have been warned. Poor girl? What about poor me?
You looked at the window. What did you see next?
And then, ooh, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The woman with long hair. Was it Mia Fey? Slender, sort of. Well, some people might say pretty, if that's your thing. Your thing? And the person attacking her? The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Okay. She dodged? Dodged what? What? The attack? Please, continue your testimony. Okay. There's like one of these that we have to press. How do you know she was the defendant? Huh? Well, you know, she had a girlish physique. Women know these things. Look, I just know, okay? There was only one person at the scene of the crime with a short, girlish figure. The testimony is bulletproof, Your Honor. He's right. Nope. Hold on a minute. That testimony stinks. Take a quick shower. Yeah, fair enough. Miss May, I'm willing to bet that you saw nothing. Did you really see the defendant at all? Mr. Wright, what's the meaning of this? Yes, what's the meaning? Someone tell me, because I'm clueless. About this, I mean. Okay. If you had really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. Eh? No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, G Scorpion was asking about Miles Edgeworth, who is not the main antagonist. He kind of becomes like a secondary, well, not a protagonist, but he kind of like becomes like an ally of like the crew later on in the series. I don't remember if it's like in this game as well. I think he like maybe helps out in the final trial. Anyway, yeah. However, the witness's testimony, Miles Edgeworth. Yeah. That testimony is bogus. Is my microphone kind of like not like, I don't know, loud enough? Or maybe I should like lower the game a little bit more. Hey Cloud, hi, how's it going? How are we doing today? How was oh geez, what was it like? You said it again. God, I forget. Yakuza, right? It's like Yakuza 0. What you were streaming yesterday, or was it like 2 days ago? I don't remember actually. But still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder. She was, Your Honor. I saw her, and so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May? Yeah, I mean, fair enough. You beat Yakuza 0. Oh, nice. Actually, I'm pretty sure like Ghost Rider is also like a big fan of the series. I've never played any of those games yet. I think I own most of them. Maybe not Song of Life, and certainly not like a Dragon, but I think I own 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 on Steam. I think I have 3, 4, and 5 on PS3, and I really need to make time to play all of them. At some point.
What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw.
I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling. Recommend to try them out. Yeah, I really need to. It's just, you know, what's kind of like been holding me back. I know that if I try some of them, I have this thing when I play open world games that I need to do everything in them. So it's gonna be like what, 150 hours per game to like get everything. So with like 5 games, that's like literally like half a year's worth of playtime for me. At least if I do it off stream. If I do it on stream, then it's gonna be like half a year's worth of streams. So that's kind of like what's kind of like holding me back a little bit. I'm just kind of been playing like a few like shorter games. I've actually been playing like off stream Atelier Ryza on the Switch, and surprisingly enough, for like a JRPG with like a, you know, crafting focus, I guess, it should only take me like maybe overall 40 to 45 hours to finish it, and I'm already like 30 hours in it because I've been playing like a lot over the weekends, like on my off time, which is kind of nice. Like the game kind of surprised me at like level 50 odd, where I started like fighting kind of like secret bosses and stuff like that. It was like very interesting. Well, not 5 games. Well, yeah, but I only own 5. Like I said, I don't have like a dragon and I don't have Song of Life, so you know, I'm not just like gonna go buy them all just like to buy them. I don't do that like anymore. Oh yeah, it's like 6 with 0, I guess. So yeah, I've got like 0 Kiwami 2 on Steam, 3, 4, 5 I've got on PS3, so I'm not gonna buy the remasters, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's just like those. Usually do the side quest off stream. Yeah, but I like what I enjoy about like the streaming stuff is that I can actually, you know, have like a good like long look into like all the stuff that the game has. So you know, I'm kind of like weird like that. Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl, I promise. Fuck this character, seriously. Your testimony again, if you will. Damn, I almost had her. I mean, we'll see. Like, we're gonna be very busy until at least like mid-May. Considering that we've got to do like the entirety of this, which is like around 20 hours long, and then there's like I for Jungle Roba, which I have no idea if I'm gonna stream like the entirety of, because it's kind of like a bit like top heavy as far as games go. And then we've got Hades, which is also gonna take a while to kind of like get through, assuming I like it. If I don't like it, I'm just gonna do like one stream, but you know, generally everyone that's played Hades kind of loved it, so I probably expect that I'm gonna like it as well. Like when I say everyone that I kind of like follow around, like follow in like the gaming community, let's call it like that. I did see everything, I did. The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it, I did. That clock, that kind of statue clock. The thinker, I think. Well, does that accuracy of my report not startle you? Okay, so I remember an issue with this. There's like a specific order where you have to present things. Because she's got like 2 contradictions in her statement. One is that she doesn't know that the thinker is a statue. And the other one is that she got the order that like Mia ran away wrong. We need to present both the statue and the floor plan to get her here, but I don't remember which order you have to do them in. And it's like the unfortunate thing about this game is that you need to do them in like a very specific order, so I'm gonna save here. Just like okay, and I think if we like go to the end, Phoenix might give us a hint as to like what we should focus on first. Her previous testimony must have been what Edgeworth wanted to say, so this was the testimony in her own words. Time to press and squeeze the truth out of here. Gross. A clock? Didn't this come up in another testimony recently? Well, don't look so sour, Mr. Lawyer. You can't win them all. No, but I have a feeling I'm onto something now. Yep. Aha. Miss May, what you said just now was quite revealing. I finished Yakuza 0 started. Oh, Fallen Order. Oh damn, I actually have to do that as well. I did like the EA Play subscription a couple of months ago, and I went through like a few indie games, and now I'm kind of like doing a bit of Burnout Paradise off stream. But I really want to do that as well. I'm probably not going to be able to stream it though, because my PC is not well, equipped to run that and the streaming software at the same time. But yeah, I did also hear this like a very interesting game. And I'd much rather just like play it before my EA Play expires. So I might like start that as my off-stream game after I'm done with Atelier Ryza. Oh. Actually very interested to hear your thoughts on it once you're done with it. It's apparently kind of like a cross between Dark Souls with like a Metroidvania and like a bunch of collectibles as well. So gameplays like Souls. Yeah, I remember hearing that. There's like also some like platforming or something, I think. But yeah, it's like one of those like modern games that everyone was talking about when it came out. So I just like really want to see what it's like. You just said that the statue of the Thinker was a clock, but there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it. Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too, and he was found guilty of murder. Order! Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock? Objection! The witness saw the murder with her own eyes, that's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns. Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright. Nope. But questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once. Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness. Whew, that was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would be over. Huh? What? So, what happens now? What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock? What? That's because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time. So, you've been to the law offices of Fane Co. No, hey, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard it from my hotel room. Hehehe. The law offices of Fane Co, where the murder took place, is very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock. No, she couldn't. Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied? Nope. Oh, I just like made myself dizzy. I'm not satisfied because it couldn't have rung. Your Honor, members of the court. It is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. Because it's empty. That clock is missing its clockwork. Whoa. How could you possibly? Just take a look, right now. Oh. See anything interesting, Your Honor? It is as the defense says. This clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this? It's as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big, fat liar. Fat? How dare you? Well, Miss May? Screw you. Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright. He knew the clock was empty. Somehow, he knew. I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, you must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction. That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it. And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed? Yep. Impossible, of course. Because I'm a big idiot. I mean, sorry. I have proof. What? Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening, and now I'll show you the proof you like so much. The evidence that proves when the clockwork was removed is the transcript. Haha. Take a look at this. That's a very cute cell phone. Oh, you have a girly phone. Wait, this isn't my phone? Listen, this is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder. Which, by the way, that conversation in an actual court would totally shift the blame to someone else. The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention. I couldn't falsify it. Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it? Good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon. I gotta say, I'm starting to feel bad for the big fella. So it plays like Sekiro but worse. Honestly, as much as I liked Sekiro, I wouldn't want to go through it again, to be honest. I mean, I think like we streamed like most of it. I ended up like doing the final boss off stream because I just like couldn't focus on both the fight and the chat. And even then, it took me like 3.5 hours of tries to get like what was his name, like Sword Saint Ishin or something like that. So you just want me to hold on to the thinker for you then? If you could, I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now. Huh? It's not working? That's lame. I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. Beep. Your Honor, I think this makes it clear the clockwork was already gone by the time this was recorded. Which was well before the witness had ever arrived at the hotel. Meh. Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know the clock was a weapon? The weapon was a clock. Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot. The witness has seen it before. Nope. Yes. The witness claims she had seen it before, but this directly contradicts a piece of evidence already submitted to this court. Well then, let's see it. Please produce this evidence that would prove the witness had not seen the clock before. It is like the clock, like the clock itself, right? Have I done DLCs? Wait, there were like DLCs in Sekiro? No, I actually only I actually only played that when it came out. No, I've done none of it. Wait, what DLC was there even? Wait, extra content? I mean, I've like done like a bunch of like new game plus modes to get like all the skill points for the achievement, but that's about it actually. Like yeah, I've done all of the achievements for it, but if there's like something that came out after the game came out, then I've not done it. Because I remember I bought that on release and kind of like streamed it for like a month or so. Oh, they added new costumes and gauntlets. No, I've not even seen those. I should probably reinstall it then and have a look. Was it like just like a boss gauntlet or something? Also, may I just like say how much I love my little espresso cup? It's like so cute. It also like the design kind of like reminds me of Deus Ex in like a point. If they like had like maybe like a few gold triangles instead of just like dark brownish ones, it would totally be like a Deus Ex kind of cup. You fight all the bosses in the Ooh, all the bosses, really? Yeah, I don't think I would do well in that. Like, bosses gave me like a lot of trouble. I remember I got stuck in like Lady Butterfly, and it was like the first form of like the monkey demon, whatever, like the ape, great ape, whatever it's called. And yeah, like Sword Saint Ishin gave me a lot of trouble as well. Owl, I guess, also was kind of like a pain in the ass. A friend of mine made that clock. Only 2 exist in the world, and the other one... Oh, and the one that isn't here is in police custody. Impossible! Everything is sold in stores. Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not on sale today. Oh boy. Oh boy.
What's it to you, porcupine head? That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it. Die!
Okay. Psycho alert. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. This is a court of law and the witness will remain calm. Silly me. Did I lose it? I guess I did. Scary. Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior? Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. Miss April May, you knew the weapon was a clock because you heard about it. The witness had never held a clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock. She heard? That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof. Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving that the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock. That's like 3D. Oh, I guess it's like one gauntlet for each ending, I guess. Because I guess it's like an ending where you don't fight Sword Saint and you fight what's his name? Genichiro or something? Like the other samurai dude. And there's like an ending where you don't fight the owl because you actually ally with him. That's like the bad ending. Okay, that's actually very interesting. I'm gonna have to reinstall it at some point and have a look. Although I probably won't clear any of the gauntlets. Because I don't think I've ever kind of like cleared any of the bosses like in one shot. Well, no, actually, the Demon of Hate I managed to, but that was just because I knew how to do the cheese where it actually like falls to its death. I just thought it was like kind of like amusing to try because I saw it on like YouTube. Did I clear any boss on the first try? I mean, I want to say like the 4 monkeys, the folding something or another monkeys I did on the first try, although it took me quite a while to like catch the last one. What else? I'm trying to remember actually. God. Yeah, I don't actually think I killed any of them on the first try. Even like the one I had like the least trouble with, like the horse rider, whatever his name is. I think it took like 2 or 3 tries to actually get like the parries down. Hey, I found this in Miss May's room. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is. Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Mia Faye's phone, were you not?
Objection.
Your Honor, this is irrelevant. I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. Fuck you, Mr. Edgeworth. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap. This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone? Absolutely. Even if that was the case, which is not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clog on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not. I mean, I just like played the discussion to you. Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple. What? What? Sorry, I can't like speak any louder. I think my neighbors already hate me for streaming. I'm apparently a bit loud when I stream. I present the defendant's cell phone. Yes, we've seen that. Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim. Mia, what's up? You haven't called in a while. Well, actually there's something I want you to hold on to me. Did I drop any frames? Yeah, I've been dropping like maybe like a couple of seconds every 20 minutes or so. And it's actually been happening for the last couple of weeks and I have no idea why. Walls must be thin. Yeah, they are. Unfortunately, it's like one of like the shitty things. It's also like the problem that this room that I'm in is actually the furthest most room of the apartment. So that wall behind there is directly I'm kind of actually like sharing that wall with the neighbor, so yeah, I mean the neighbors didn't like complain or anything, but the missus could hear me from here into the bedroom, which is like kind of like where like this wall. So I kind of assume like that wall is also kind of thin, so it's like kind of like trying to keep it down. But yeah, it's like this thing for the last couple of weeks. No matter like which Twitch server I connect to, it kind of like starts like dropping frames every 20 minutes or so. It's not like a lot. Like over the course of like 3 or 4 hours, it's like maybe like 2,000 frames, which is about 10 seconds of like the entire stream, or like cumulatively. But unfortunately this happens a lot and I have no idea what causes it. I always have like a trace route on like the second screen, and also I have like the Twitch stream inspector, and it's definitely not my connection. Or if it is, like both tools can't actually see it. So I have no idea what's causing that, and it's actually like driving me insane. I don't like tech issues at all. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm sorry if it kind of like impacts the viewing quality a little bit. I have no idea. Your Honor, this is ridiculous. Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer. Witness, answer the question. Did you tap your phone? Miss May.
Shut up, all of you. What gives you right to talk to me? You lawyer?
Whoa.
It's no fair. All of you ganging up on me like that. So I'm the bad girl, is that it? Is that it?
Wait, what?
That did it. The court's in the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow.
Why did you tap your phone?
Answer the question.
Do I have to?
Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't TBD tapping irrelevant?
Okay.
She's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants us to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone.
I hardly call that irrelevant.
While this court does not condone the defense's tone of voice, he has a point. Well, Miss May, do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped your phone?
Ha! I'd like to see her pull that off. Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you? Damn, she's good. Well, you're not the first man who's thought that, and of course I can and will. You can't be serious. No way. Way, I say. Way! Oh, and I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Okay, so the killing happened around 9 at night. Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy. Room service? Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee, you know, like normal coffee but cold. I just like finished mine, damn it. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts and then you have regular cold coffee. Iced coffee? Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy. Wink, wink. Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder. I mean, that's not what I was asking though, it was about the wiretap. So where does that leave us? It's my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's telephone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder. No, they're just going to let her walk away. There's no way I can win that unless a time is made to the murder somehow. Well, does the defense have anything to say? Oh, come on, think of something.
The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious here, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. I think you've sunk in quite low enough already. I object to calling the bellboy. Why? What's your reason? Because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness. Condition? If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer, thus she's innocent. And thereby, you must also accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. That is my condition. What? I'd better find something suspicious on the bellboy's testimony, otherwise Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. What should I do? Yep. Alright, I've got nothing to lose, except for, well, everything. Understood. I accept your condition. Fool. You fell right into my trap. Uh-oh. What? Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand. I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy. Complete with tray. Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service. That tea set looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony. Very good, sir. Okay. I am the head bellboy at the Fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 in the evening for our guest, Miss May. She asked for a nice coffee to be brought to her at 9 on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself. I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Right, I'm ready, I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved in the murder now, Maya will be finished. Are you sure it was Miss May on the phone? Absolutely, sir. How can you be so certain? I checked Miss May personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remember her quite well, sir. Yes, what then? Let's see. Precisely 9 then? Precisely, exactly, and most definitely, sir. 9 p.m. How can you be so sure? Miss May was quite insistent that it be brought then. Oh, bellboy, hee. I'd like iced coffee at exactly 9? Something like that, sir. Therefore, I knocked on the door at the crack of 9, sir. Why would she be so particular about the time? You are sure it was Miss April May herself? Absolutely, sir. Absolutely? Yes, sir. As in, so very absolutely, sir. It's an endearing mannerism of mine. Really? If you have to call it an endearing mannerism, then it's probably not. How come you're so very certain? Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guest, sir, favored me with an embrasser, sir. What? Is that French for embrace? It's French for kiss, sir. But not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek. Why would she have done that? I believe perhaps she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. No. It was a moment I shall never ever forget, sir. Sounds pretty fishy to me. It's no good. There's nothing there. Is that it? Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you end this rather tedious cross-examination here. It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand. Can't let this happen, can I? Nope. Wait, please wait. Yes? Does the defense have something to add, sir? One last question. Let me ask one last question. Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice... Charade? This charade of justice has gone on long enough. No, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, Mr. Wright, I'll give you one more question, that's all. Okay, this is my last chance. What do I ask him about? At exactly 9, I delivered room service to Miss May in room 303. The guest had requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall. I see. Wait, $18? Doesn't that seem a bit expensive? Yes, well, iced coffee for two, you know. And we don't skimp on the ice, sir. What did he say? What did he say? Huh? Oh, rather quite. Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room? Uh-oh. Object. That was objectionable. Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question. Yes, I see. Why did you not mention this in your testimony? Well, sir, you didn't ask. Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention. Yes, quite. Indeed. It was the good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... Ha! He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir. Oof. You fool. Fuck this guy. Like... In any like reality, as soon as like a witness admitted that the defense, sorry, not the defense, yeah, the prosecution, like kind of like what's like what's like the word for that, like doctored the evidence or like coached the witness, like the case would have been thrown out because of like tampering of evidence. But yeah, no, I guess it doesn't matter in this universe. Miss April May checked into a twin room with a man, correct? Yes, sir. Then, when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room. That's right, sir. Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In light of this new fact, I hold that it's impossible to judge the defendant. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? And who, Mr. Wright? Who is this other person? Simple. It was... Nope. The man who checked in with Miss May. Oh. Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself was an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder. My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late. Wait, too late? I suppose you'd like it if it was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of the other man from this court. Upstart. Amateur. The accusations are ludicrous. The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood? Yes, yes, Your Honor. That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned. Mr. Wright, you were amazing in there. Really? I was kind of like bullshitting my way. I think I might be your newest fan. No, I was just doing my job, you know. Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool too. What? That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips, it sends shivers up my spine. Oh my god, really? So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now? Well, no, I don't think so. Not yet. Oh, I see. But I got a great lead in today's trial. A lead? That man with Miss May, he's the key. Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that anyway? I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, This case is far from closed. Yes, sir. I'm going to find out more about this man. Do you think he was the one who... Maybe so. Sis, don't worry, I'll find him by tomorrow. I promise. I'm counting on you. I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow. But now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of your testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that hasn't been taken from the record. I don't know how much good this will do to me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in the detention center, and it's up to me to set her free. To be continued. Oh, I hate these to be continued interrupts. Well, hello. I didn't expect anyone to visit me in such a dank place as this. It's really quite moving. Not, you stinking lawyer. I hope you die. Have you come to laugh? Yes, laugh at the fallen Miss May. No, not really. There's like something I wanted to ask. Unfortunately, there's nothing I want to be asked. Haven't you done enough questioning, you spiky head? Here we go again. Please, you're scaring the security guard. So, what is the use to ask of me then, For starters, how did you get to be so totally whacked? About that man who stayed with you in the hotel room. Can you tell me about him? Where is he? Come on. No way, Jose. Maybe if I get something to get her to talk. Why did you place a wiretap on Mia's phone? Aw, when you say it like that, it sounds so cold, so criminal. Tapping people's phones is a crime, Miss May. Oh, and I suppose you learned that in lawyer school? Creep. See, this is what I mean when I say I want to punch this character in the face. Like usually when you write like a villain, at least even if it's like a secondary one like here, you need to at least have some redeeming qualities, so that they're like more believable as a human being. Say, why are you so angry? I mean, you don't look like a bad person. That does it. Bottom-feeding, scum-sucking lawyer. Bottom? Wait, what? I can't tell. Does she have a thing against lawyers? Or just against me? Hey, guess what? Actually, I really hate your guts, so get lost. Because, well, I'm not cooperating. So what do I have to show here to... Okay, that's not it. Just gonna have to show here everything until... I mean, I might actually not have that item yet.